everyone, we're back again with a sitting sideways AU Falcon episode. So today we're putting a J3 chip into this Intech Series 3 AU ECU, putting some Barra injectors, we'll put in a fuel regulator, a map sensor from XR6 Turbo we're going to put in. We've got a stage 3 tune from TI Performance. We're just going to try and make it all work. See if this AU Falcon can hit boost. That will be ideal. So stay tuned for this episode. If you're not already subscribed and you're watching this, it'd be nice if you could subscribe, or at least like the video, something like that. The package has just arrived in the mail. I now have an injector tester machine and injector cleaner, so I can kind of somewhat, do minor servicing of injectors, try and get them working again, which can be quite a valuable machine to have. Saves me getting injectors tested that are broken and then getting replacement injectors and getting them tested, and then they're also broken, and then paying for injectors to get tested that are broken. I'm not really going to be paying for it. Wow, I got a funnel for $700. Nice. What's all this? Alright, so it looks like the plate for the injectors, and then you got like different fittings and that. Cool. Alright, so we got some power cords. Oh no, are you serious, mate? What? I can't use that. That's not in Australia. Fuck me, man. Are these guys serious? They give me power cords I can't use. Well, the joke's on them. They're trying to send me cords that I need adapters or whatever. Stuff their cords. Look at this. See my Pioneer DJ setup? The cord I just pulled out the back is exactly the same, with a normal Australian plug for the power point. So we've got our injector tester machine here. We're about to try and set it up. So first things first, we're going to fill it with the fluid. Now this fluid, you pretty much fill the machine and it will just kind of stay in there. Then when you use the machine, it will cycle around, it will sit in a tank in the bottom, and it'll just keep using it for ages, as long as you don't contaminate it. And contaminate it with the ultrasonic cleaning fluid. When you clean the injectors, you can't get any of that into the testing fluid, otherwise it stuffs up the testing fluid, because they're two different fluids you need to get for this machine. So the cleaning fluid you change, replace it, whereas the testing fluid you can leave it in there for a fair while. But when you transport the machine, you're meant to empty it, because it's not really like a sealed thing, it just sits there with gravity. Alright, so we've got some factory Barra injectors here out of a non-turbo BA or BF Falcon. Now, these injectors are the same from turbo to non-turbo models. We've got our new injector tester here. Now don't worry, that's just a bit of protective plastic, but I like to leave that stuff on, because if I want to ever try and sell it in the future, I can almost pass it off as brand new unused. So we've got this pressure hose, just like a little clip on, comes and you clip it on there. So we're all wired up, ready to go. We're on idle speed testing for the #1 mode. We maybe change our RPM. How do I do that? What's that? Mate, I've read the instructions and they're telling me about stuff about car exhaust and breathing in the fumes and that. I don't even know what that's got to do with this machine. Well, it's increments of 1. Oh. No, go back to... Yeah, there we go. Alright. So, we're going to press the magic button. Hopefully it starts up. Oh my god, it's making sounds. Oh, don't start shooting fuel on my face. Oh. That one's not doing anything. Wow. One of the injectors is broken. It's clogged up. Not shooting. Is that how many shots it's gonna do? That's a lot of shots, man. So you can also inspect the patterns and the way they're shooting. So these three, they're pretty decent, man. See, it's atomizing the fuel really good. So those injectors they're sweet. They're all pretty much dead the same amount of fuel. We've just got lonely old Ned over here. Doesn't want to work. So I'm gonna label this one. I'm really glad I didn't waste my time putting that in the car. I would have had an injector problem. Would have been like, why is the car misfiring? Oh no. I've tested the other 2 injectors that I have, the Barra ones, and they work. So I just have one bad Barra injector. I need to get a singular Barra injector. Alright, so we've got some AU injectors plugged into the machine. I'm just going to test the difference and we'll show you everyone. We can all have a look at how different the AU to the Barra injectors are, how much more fuel the Barra injectors put out. So you can also look up the numbers, but what do the numbers actually look like in real life? So this machine will show us. Here we've got the blue ones are Barra injectors, the black ones are AU injectors. So this is going to show us the exact difference that we're making putting these injectors in the car. It's actually a cool behind the scenes, inside the engine look at what's going on. You got the AU injectors on the right, big Barry Barrison on the left. I can kind of see the difference. I don't know if you can, but I can. See, there's not as much fuel falling out of the AU ones. So you won't notice it quite yet, but over a bit of time, we'll start seeing the difference. Alright, so you can see there's a bit of a difference. You can actually see that one of the AU injectors is slightly better than the other. The Barra ones are pretty spot on, the ones that work. I'm just going to take off now. She's on the high RPM. This is about 4 times the speed. So we just ran the full RPM test, and now it's actually a bit of a difference in the Barra injectors. The AU ones stayed the same. The Barra ones changed. You can see the two Barra ones, there's a slight 20 mils difference in it. The AU's, whatever that is, 40 is it? So, in just having this machine for this short period of time, I've tested 2 sets of injectors, which the place was saying $150. So that's half of my money back already in 20 minutes. And now I know about all these injectors. I actually know more information, some priceless information for tuning my Falcon about the difference of these injectors. And I can actually visibly see, because I thought there was going to be heaps more fuel coming out. Not just that tiny little, a couple more milliliters. What? That's nothing. You see this bad boy? Big 12 FD over here? We're gonna unbolt it. Unbolt it. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna pull it apart. Just a little metal covering so we can get to those terminals and clean them up a bit better. You see, you got good access on the bottom, nice and wide, but at the top, very skinny, no access. So, hex heads on the casing. We're gonna undo those. It's a 5.5mm socket, and you can't really clean it properly with the top on. See how it's uneven? You got a bit more room on the bottom, but the top, it's pretty hard to get in there. So it's easier just to undo these little bolts, and then you can take the lid off. Pop the lid off. There we've got the computer chip in here. So you can see up there, those little terminals, you'll clean them all up. So I'm here at my local wrecking yard. They've shut down the one where you can walk in and just take stuff for cheap prices. So anyway, I'm here at Farrell's. I came here the other day and the guy said to me, he's like, I want $55 for a single Barra injector. And I was like, far out, you know, $55 for one, you know, second-hand injector. I was like, well, how much for the whole set of 6? He's like, well, 55 each. I'm like, what? $300 for a set of injectors? I'm like, well, how much for the whole motor? He's like, oh, I'll sell you the whole motor for $500. I'm like, so you sell me the whole motor for $500, but you want 300 and some bucks just for the injectors? I'm like, this guy's lost the plot, you know? So I was like, all right. So anyway, and because I called up on the phone and I told him, I was like, I just need a Barra injector, man. And then the guy said, oh, go down, the boys will sort you out, mate, they'll sort you out. I went down and I was like, well, that's not very sort you out, like $50, $55 for just a single Barra injector. So, like, it sounds normal, but it doesn't for Barra land, because you can get like a whole Barra for $50. So anyway, I went back today because I was desperate. I've got the tune now. I've got everything to make this AU run. I'm like, you know, I really need this injector. Stuff it. I'll pay the old man's $55 for his Barra injector.
I went down, I talked to one of the youngish blokes, like he's not as old as the old guy. Anyway, and the younger bloke said, he was like, yeah, hey mate, 25 bucks. I'm like, what? And then he seen me pulling cash out, and he's like, oh, you got cash? He's like, just 20 bucks. I'm like, oh yeah. So then maybe I should have asked that guy about the prices of the motors. So I did ask, I said, have you got any FG gas motors? He's like, oh no, they're hard to get a hold of. So I've worked out at that joint, they're just gonna make up the price on the spot. So you gotta not talk to the old man, because he's gonna tell you heaps. But the young guys, they tell you a good price.
Alright guys, here we have it. $20 Falcon injector. A lot better than the $55 the guy wanted for the same injector. Just happened to talk to the different bloke at the shop. So now it's basically a third of the price. So I'm going to put this on my little machine and see if this injector works. Might be a good start. So I picked up this big bag of bad boys here. Injector seals, right? They wanted $3 each. You need 12. Do the maths, that's 36 bucks. Or you can buy the whole bag of 100 for $38. So for an extra $2 more, they'll give you 88 extra O-rings, or you could pay $36 just for 12 of them. Now you do the maths on that. So here we have it, the fuel rail out of the AU Falcon. We've got the new regulator from TI Performance, the Brazilian Bosch 4-bar fuel pressure regulator. So that's going to go in the top there. Now we got the injectors. So we've tested all these injectors, they all work. They're good, it says on the bag. Alright, so we're going to put them in. We've got all the injectors in the rail now. What we're going to do is we're going to put the fuel regulator in. So what we need to do is we need to make sure we put this facing the right way. So I'm trying to put this new fuel regulator in. It kind of feels like trying to put in a R33 side feed injector. It's not very fun to do. So ever so gently in the bench vise, we have put the fuel regulator in there and just slowly wiggled and jiggled and worked our way in. So now we have room to put the circlip on top, which will hold and retain that fuel regulator. Circlip is in. I had to spin the injectors around the other way. They're about to go together. Circlip is in. Injectors spun. Ford Falcon. Sorry, Turbo Ford Falcon. I almost just set myself crazy. I tried to put the fuel rail in. I was trying for like 5 minutes and I couldn't put it back in. I was like, this wasn't this hard to do. Like, what was so hard? Like, then I just had this weird memory. I was like, yeah, it's been 2 weeks, mate. You have forgot. The last injector number 6, you take it out and then you put it in when the fuel rail is right next to the manifold. So if you don't take the 6th injector out, it's pretty much impossible to get the fuel rail in and out. And then you just put the 6th injector in the rail as like the last step of putting it in, or the first step of taking it out. So we have an intech with Barra injectors. Now we've got the 6th injector is out. So now I'm going to put it in. Now I've got the fuel rail where I want it. The 6th injector is in. We will try and get the fuel rail to go in. Get all the injectors to line up. Got all the injectors plugged in now. Just gonna plug the wiring back in. Main engine loom, throttle body and stuff like that. Get the fuel rail bolted down. dipstick bolted back down. Don't forget these retaining clips I just found. So if you want to change your map sensor to the XR6 turbo one, you're going to take your throttle body off, and then just under your throttle body you're going to have your little hex head map sensor there, and we've used the Raceworks cable to go from the XR6 to the AU map sensor plug. Alright, so I've cleaned up my ECU. Now I found out that actually, see how some are copper? You're not meant to sand them and get them to copper. You're meant to just clean them up so they stay silver. That silver's the protective coating on them. So this side's alright, this side I've exposed a couple. It's not a big deal, really, I don't think too much. So we've got the computer here put back together. We've got this J3 chip. We're going to put it in the computer. You get your computer, you get your chip, you put them together nice and gently, like that, and now it's done. So I want to put a bit of tape over this to hold it in place so it doesn't fall out. Then we're going to go put this back in the AU. So this chip is now taped into the computer here. I cut a piece of a black nitrile glove and put it in between the tape and the chip, just that way so you're not getting all the gunk from like the tape, the glue, gloop all over the chip metal bits and stuff. If you want to take it out, it's not all sticky and crap. It's going to be the plastic glove that's going to have all the sticky glue on it. So we've got the computer back in the car. Haven't got the cage fully bolted around it because we might have to take it out and play around with it, stuff like that. So we'll bolt it up in complete finished final stages when the car's fully functional. Then we'll bolt it up properly. I'm kind of nervous, to be honest. So we're trying out the new tune from TI Performance that I just bought for 250 bucks. The car wouldn't have run without it. If any luck, it might run really well. See how we go. So we're in the AU Falcon now. We're going to try and start it. So it says on the instructions to turn the car over to on and then listen for the fuel pump, and you should hear the fuel pump run. But you don't want to hear the fuel pump run continuously, otherwise it's stuffed. I honestly can't even hear my fuel pump running at all. So maybe it's just really quiet, I don't know. Maybe it's stopped working like all the other cars. And it also says if you try and turn the car over and it does not start, don't keep trying to start it, otherwise smart lock will come on. And we all know how fun smart lock is. For this first attempt, I had to turn the key. Nothing. And then a little warning light come up on the dash. Pretty sure that means that they're saying the chip isn't installed correctly. Luckily, this isn't bolted back in properly because it's going to have to come back out. So I've taken this computer out of the car. Gonna take the chip back out, try again with the sanding and all the scraping, see if that fixes the problem. So we have the computer back apart. That's the J3 chip in it. We're gonna take it out. So that's one side of the terminals. That's the other side. So I put the ECU back in. I put the chip back in the computer. I noticed this time when I was putting the chip in, I felt like I could almost kind of made a different sound, and it kind of had a different feeling as it slid in. You could almost feel the metal on metal. Still didn't hear a fuel pump go. Or maybe I did. Let's see if it works this time. I just realized I never even put the hoses on for the fuel rail. So now there's fuel all over the concrete because I just heard it splashing everywhere. But on the plus side, the car tried to start and the fuel pump must be working. Number 2, fuel hose. The fuel hoses are on the car. Now when I was down there, I could smell the fuel that was coming out and it was stale. So this car might not start now. Haven't even run for a year or so. It's been a good year since it's ran, so might have to go get more of that fuel doctor stuff, put it in the tank. See if it runs, but first we'll let the fuel pump prime again a couple times. Just get some fuel up through that rail. We've got a jumper pack on the AU. We're going to try and start it now. Hopefully it actually turns over. So it just clicks like that, like a starter click.
2 hours later.
What a fucking piece of shit. It won't turn over. It's the next day. We're trying again at this AU Falcon. Taking the computer out for like the second or the third time. This is going to be like the round 4 of trying to clean the terminals. Pretty sure the Falcon's in smart shield mode. So I thought I was like heaps smart because I was like, oh yeah, I know smart lock. I know all that. Like ED Falcons, Miles's Falcon used to have smart lock. We used to be able to bypass it. You like leave the keys on red for 40 minutes and don't try and start it. Then you'll turn it over and it'll just bypass smart lock. But on AU models 1.5, AU2 and AU3, they've upgraded to smart shield. So it's a lot more sophisticated, and the tricks that worked on smart lock doesn't work on smart shield. So joke's on me. I was like, oh, I don't care if my AU gets immobilized because I'll just do the 40-minute trick and undo smart lock. But it's not smart lock, it's smart shield. So now I've got to turn it off, pull the chip out, turn the bloody smart shield off on the programmer, which is alright. It's at the same time we might take off the speed lock for 180 kilometers, so we'll make the AU be able to go over 200 Ks. I'll show you that. And you'll see here the vehicle speed limit. But see, this has already been changed, 255. So that would be at 180 Ks on a factory bin file. But we've got the stage 3 bin from TI Performance, so they've already changed that for us by the looks of it. And it looks like I think they've removed Smart Shield. I feel like if I set it, that's going to enable it. So I'm not going to set it. And we've got all like these other tables here. So you see you've got like spark tables and all different stuff like that. I'm not going to go into them and show off all their hard work, but you've got a lot of different things here. See, we've even got like a rev limit. So 6,000 RPM rev limit. Idle time to keep cold start, 10 seconds. So we've got like a volumetric efficiency table. I'm pretty sure you can view these in a different way. So if you want, you can actually look at all these different graphs kind of in different form, like a different view. So like say that's the spark table, and if we want to look at it in a different view, you'd see that. Hopefully it works now. 4th or 5th time's the charm. Sanded the terminals, the computer's back in the car, the chip's back in the car. We'll just try again. So what we'll actually try and do is I might try and pull the chip out of the car and start it. See if that makes a difference. I have my starter motor tester wire somewhere up there. That's my starter motor tester wire. And then I have a earth jumper lead onto the block. So then down here, I've got the positive wires hooked up to that starter tester wire that's hooked up to the trigger terminal on the solenoid. So if this works, the car should just turn over every time I touch this. So the starter motor is rooted. So we have the AU Falcon starter motor out of the car. We're going to test it. Trigger wire hooked up. Well, she's working. I've taken the starter motor out, I've tested it. The J3 chip's not in the computer at the moment. Maybe Smart Shield is enabled because there's a stupid hand flashing on my dash. Put the key in Turn it over, Ran. It's not working. What the hell? It full just started. It turned over. So I pulled the chip out and I put it back in because it said about the car being immobilized. Something to do with just pull the chip out, try and turn it over to reset the failure count of trying to start it with the chip in, and put the chip back in, and now it just magically works. Well, not yet, because it just turned over. It didn't start. Alright, lucky 7. I've seen it now, so it's just like copper. It's copper on both sides. I'm gonna try the chip now and see if it works. Clean the terminals, so they're basically copper showing on every single terminal. And it still doesn't start. So there's nothing to do with the terminals being clean at this point.
So it's been a couple weeks now. I've been trying to make this single video about an AU Falcon, and it's just like everything just keeps happening, you know? Like first we had to wait 17 days for the delivery for just a fuel regulator. Next I was waiting like 8 days for a starter motor that was only like a 50-minute drive away, and it took 8 days to get it delivered. And now I've got the starter motor. As you can see in here, it's just pissing down rain.
So we have a brand new starter motor. It's finally arrived. We'll install it in the Falcon. So I've got the new starter motor actually put in the car. Got a break from the rain. We're going to try and start it now with the chip in it. We've put a brand new starter motor in this AU Falcon. I'm going to try and start it now. Please work. Yep. Wow.
So unfortunately, it looks like the AU did not get started in this video. The only thing that for some reason I can think that might make sense is that like the PATS system is on, which is some other type of disabler, anti-theft security crap that I'm pretty sure you need to get PCM tech to hook the computer up to this program, PCM tech, to tune forward ECUs and unlock that PATS system. Whatever words you want to use to call it, the right terminology, that. Even though it randomly turned over the one time, the car just turned over once, unexplained. I don't know what I did, what's changed, what's made that happen. Yeah, I don't know. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get the AU running and started in another episode. If anyone thinks they know why the AU doesn't start, feel free to comment below. We'll test it out, test your theory out. But at this stage, unfortunately, it's going to have to be a new video with the AU running. So I guess, because it'll be so short, we might have to do a burnout, a skid in it. So if you want to see some turbo AU doing a skid in my driveway, subscribe to this channel.